Hello everyone. In this presentation, I am going to explain the general characteristics of rickettsia. Rickettsia are the microscopic organisms which live only within the host cells. They have a life as an obligate intracellular parasites. In this presentation, I am explaining the introduction, general characters, that includes the morphology, cultivation, pathogenicity, and the classification of rickettsia. So in the introduction part, rickettsia were discovered by a microbiologist, Howard Taylor Ricketts, in 1909 while studying the Rocky Mountain spotted fever. The organisms were named as the rickettsia, honoring Ricketts. In the new edition of Burgess Manual, the rickettsia are placed in the domain Bacteria, phylum Proteobacteria, class Alpha Proteobacteria, order Rickettsiales, family Rickettsiaceae, genus Rickettsia. Rickettsia comprises of the genera Rickettsiae, Ehrlichiae, Orientia, and Coxiella. The Coxiella, which causes Q fever, has been excluded from this because it is not transmitted by the arthropods. All these genera includes the organisms that they are the zoonotic pathogens. This group infect the vesicular endothelium and reticuloendothelial cells of the vertebrates. Coming to the habitat, they are the obligate intracellular pathogens. That means they can live only in the host cells. They cannot survive outside the host cells, so they cannot be found living freely in the terrestrial and aquatic environments, but they are present in the form of parasites in different types of arthropods. These arthropods, they serve as a vectors. The arthropods which serve as a vectors for this rickettsia bacteria include mites, fleas, lice, ticks, and leafhoppers. Rickettsia are the organisms. They have the characters which are intermediate between bacteria and viruses. That means they possess the features of bacteria and viruses. So they are considered to be the intermediates between the bacteria and viruses. The characters that are generally resembling to that of bacteria include: they are highly pleomorphic, they are gram negative, that they contain the outer membrane. So the cell envelope contains three parts, that is the inner membrane, that is the plasma membrane, it is a trilayered, and a cell wall, and an outermost membrane, that is the outer membrane. Like bacteria, they have the metabolic activities, so which are governed by the enzymes. And like bacteria, they contain both the DNA and RNA. Even they are sensitive to certain antibiotics like tetracycline, cephalosporin, etc. And they show the multiplication by means of a binary fission. So these are some of the characters that resembles to that of bacteria. When it comes to viruses, like viruses, rickettsia always multiply only in the host cell. They live as an endoparasites, that's intracellular parasites. They are released from the host by lysis of the host cell. So these two are the characters that resembles to that of viruses. But coming to the morphology of the rickettsia, they have different shapes. The shapes may be either short rods, or they may exist either in pairs or in chains or in filamentous form, and they may be either coccoid or spherical shape. For example, in Rickettsia rickettsii, where the Coccobacillus morphology is observed, and in Rickettsia typhi, where the rod-shaped bacillus-shaped organisms are observed. So they show the pleomorphism, that means they have many shapes. They appear to be gram negative, and the size is from 0.3 to 0.5 micrometers in diameter and 0.8 to 2 micrometers long. There are invaginations in the cell membrane, appear to be the mesosomes, or they are thought to be the primitive endoplasmic reticulum. Another feature for this is these rickettsial plasma membrane. They contain the carrier mediated transport systems the host nutrients and the enzymes will be absorbed directly and can be utilized. Like to that of bacteria, the cytoplasm contains 70S ribosomes, RNA and DNA. DNA here it is a double stranded circular DNA. When it comes to cultivation, these organisms cannot be cultivated in the cell-free media. So they could be cultivated in the tissues like HEP2 cell, HeLa cells, which these are the cancer cells which can divide continuously in the right growth conditions, and even in the yolk sac of chick embryos can be used for the cultivation. The generation time for this organism, the generation time is the time taken by the organism to produce its copy. Generation time is the time taken by the cell to double the number. So the doubling time here it is 8 to 10 hours at 34 degrees centigrade. And moving to the metabolism, organisms are the chemoorganotrophic. Usually they lack the glycolytic pathway and they do not use the glucose, but they are able to oxidize the glutamate and the TCA cycle intermediates, TCA tricarboxylic acid cycle intermediates. The intermediates that are generated in the TCA cycle such as succinate and glutamate can be used and can be oxidized. As the plasma membrane has a carrier mediated transport system, due to this they absorb the host cell nutrients and coenzymes and utilize them directly. For example, like Rickettsia prowazekii, which cannot catabolize glucose, but it utilizes the host UDPG and NAD+. UDPG means uranyl diphosphoglucose. It utilizes host UDPG and NAD+ for the synthesis of slime layer, lipopolysaccharide and murein, that is a component of cell wall. As they lack the glycolytic pathway, they do not use the glucose as an energy source. So they are able to utilize and they are able to oxidize the glutamic acid and the intermediates of TCA cycle and trap the energy as ATP. The genomic sequence shows that the Rickettsia prowazekii is similar to that of genome of mitochondria. That indicates that it could be a symbiotic endosymbiotic association with the ancestors of Rickettsia. In the multiplication, the bacteria enter the host cells at the inoculation site and they induce the phagocytosis in the cells that are not phagocytic even, and it produces the phagosome structures. Bacteria escape from the phagosomes. Phagosomes are the specialized structures that are produced in the phagocytic cells, which contains the enzymes that could degrade the pathogen. So bacteria here, they escape from the phagosome structure that is produced in the phagocytic cell and they degrade the phagosome membrane by secreting some enzymes like lipases, and they escape the phagocytic cell and they enter into the bloodstream where they reach to the different body parts of the host. Reproduction. Rickettsia, like bacteria, they divide by a process known as transverse binary fission. It is a type of asexual reproduction where the parent cell divides to produce the two similar daughter cells. The picture shows that after the replication, the two copies of the DNA will be separated, what we call it as the karyokinesis, and which is followed by the division of cytoplasm, which is called as a cytokinesis. And now the two cells get separated. Generation time for this, the one cell becomes 2. The time taken by a cell to become 2 is called as a doubling time or the generation time. The generation time here it is 8 to 10 hours. They can be inactivated by means of physical and chemical agents. They can be destroyed at 56 degrees centigrade. Other properties include rickettsial growth is generally enhanced when the metabolic activity of the cell is lowered, as they are the endoparasites. They are even resistant to the sulfonamide drugs. That means even the sulfonamide presence could not affect the growth of a rickettsia. Some of the important species of Rickettsia are Rickettsia pravazuki, Rickettsia typhi. So they are transmitted by means of lice. They belong to the group of typhus. They cause the typhus fever. And another group is a scrub typhus, which is transmitted by means of mites. Rickettsia susugamishi. Another one is a spotted fever, which is transmitted by means of ticks, which contains Rickettsia cannori, Rickettsia siberica, Rickettsia rickettsii. Moving to the pathogenesis, the bacteria are transmitted to the human beings by means of infected arthropod vectors through bite. Arthropod here serves as a primary host and the human beings are the secondary host. The organism multiply in the body of the vector. Here upon the bite, these organisms they enter into the host and they multiply at the inoculation site. That could lead to the formation of a scar, means a dark swollen lesion will be produced at the inoculation site. Now the organism enters into the bloodstream and cause acute febrile reaction, and later it is localized in the endothelial cells, blood vessels of skin and organs. Swelling and destruction of these endothelial cells, it can result in the bleeding, thrombosis and purpuric skin rashes. The organism spreads through the bloodstream. It causes acute febrile reaction and it gets localized in the endothelial cells, blood vessels of the skin and organs. This swelling and the destruction of the endothelial cells occasionally can result in bleeding, that is a hemorrhage, thrombosis and purpuric skin rashes. Rickettsia can survive for a longer periods in various organs and lymphatic tissues of the infected humans and animals. So it would be one of the important feature in the pathogenesis in the epidemiology of rickettsial diseases. Rickettsial diseases can be diagnosed in the laboratory either by the isolation of the organism or by means of the serological tests. The commonly used serological tests include Weil-Felix test, hemagglutination, immunofluorescence, CFT for complement fixation test, and ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Weil-Felix test is based on the heterophile antigens. That antigens are antigens of a similar nature but present in the different tissues and different biological species. Weil-Felix reaction is a simple and a useful test. It can be used for the identification of the organism. Molecular methods can also be used like a polymerase chain reaction, which will be a rapid and a specific identification of an organism. Classification. The classification here based on the type of infection and the disease that they cause, the three main groups for rickettsia can be identified. One is a typhus group, another one is a spotted fever group, another one is a scrub typhus. A typhus group that includes the Rickettsia pravazuki and Rickettsia mussori, which is also called as Rickettsia typhi. Spotted fever group that include the members of Rickettsia rickettsii and Rickettsia cannori, which are transmitted by means of ticks, which cause Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And the third one is a scrub typhus. It consists of the organisms Rickettsia susugamishi, which is transmitted by means of mites. Rickettsia contains three genera, that is Rickettsia, Ehrlichia, Aurantia and Coxiella. Coxiella is excluded. The first genera Rickettsia, it contains the organisms of non-motile, non-capsulated, gram-negative, and they appear purple in the Giemsa and Castridina stains. Contains three-layered cell wall, that is a trilamina, that means three-layered plasma membrane, cell wall and outer slime layer. These Organisms can be cultivated in the yolk sac of chick embryos and on the mouse fibroblasts and even the cancer cells like HeLa, Hep2, Detroit2 and in the continuous cell lines. Rickettsia group can be inactivated by heat as explained at the 56 degrees centigrade. Even they are sensitive to the antibiotics like tetracycline, chloramphenicol and ciprofloxacin. Penicillin and sulfonamides are ineffective for the treatment of infections caused by the rickettsia. And it includes the group that is a typhus group. Again, they are of epidemic typhus and endemic typhus and spotted fever group. Epidemic typhus here it is caused by Prawazuki and endemic typhus is caused by Rickettsia typhi. Rocky Mountain spotted fever by Rickettsia rickettsii. It consists of typhus group that is epidemic typhus and endemic typhus. Epidemic typhus is caused by Rickettsia prawazuki. Endemic typhus is caused by Rickettsia typhi or Rickettsia mussori. And the Rocky Mountain spotted fever which is caused by Rickettsia rickettsii. The another genera is the Ehrlichia. The Ehrlichia contains like to that of rickettsia, they are gram-negative obligate intracellular parasites, but they have affinity, that means they multiply in the blood cells. They grow within the phagosomes. In the phagosomes, they form special structures like clusters, which are called as morula, and these are the group of organisms transmitted by means of ticks. And human monocytic ehrlichiosis and human granulocytic ehrlichiosis are the infections caused by this group of Ehrlichia. The third one is genus Orientia. It causes scrub typhus, which is caused by Rickettsia susugamishi. It is transmitted by means of mites. First, it is observed in the Japan. So, scrub typhus was found in the scrub jungles and is of course identified in the other beaches like deserts or even. Incubation period for it is 1 to 3 weeks. Here the patients develop the eschar at the site of the bite, and where it lead to the swollen lymph glands. There is a regional lymphadenopathy and rashes, maculopapular rashes will be observed. And in the severe cases, even it could lead to the encephalitis and pneumonia. Coxiella, the genus Coxiella is excluded. Why means because it is not transmitted by means of arthropods. It can even produce spores. The spores are resistant, but like to that of bacterial spores, they do not contain dipicolinic acid. It is present in the domestic livestock, and even that organism can be shed in the milk of the infected animals. That means they can survive with the pasteurization temperatures. Human disease in this is characterized by the interstitial pneumonia. Interstitial pneumonia is a type of lung disease characterized by the scarring on both the lungs. The human disease is an acute systemic infection characterized by interstitial pneumonia. Interstitial pneumonia is a type of lung disease characterized by the scarring on both lungs. In the chronic Q fever, it causes Q fever. In the chronic Q fever, the organism even spread to almost all the organs and even cause hepatitis, meningoencephalitis, endocarditis. Even the spontaneous recovery is possible, but the organism it can remain latent for 2 to 3 years in the tissues of the patients. These organisms can be cultivated in the yolk sac of chick embryos and in the cell cultures. So, on the whole, summarizing that the rickettsia are a group of prokaryotes which have the similarities of both bacteria and the virus. Like to that of bacteria, they possess the cell wall, enzymes, DNA and RNA. Like to that of viruses, they are the obligate intracellular parasites. And these organisms, they contain the carrier-mediated transport systems in the plasma membrane that could help to absorb the host nutrients and NADs as a source. And these organisms, they lack the glycolytic pathway. They oxidize the glutamates, which are the TCA tricarboxylic acid cell intermediates, and majorly it contains the 3 genera, that is Rickettsia, Ehrlichia and Orientia. Rickettsia. The Coxiella is excluded from this because it is not transmitted by the arthropod vector. This is about the general characters of Rickettsia, and thank you for watching.